Hi, this is Victoria Meyer for the Cherubim Seraphim 1. Today is Thursday, January 30th, 2014. The time is 1:43 in Fishers, Indiana. That's East Coast, USA time. I had a little bit of an interesting morning. I guess all of my mornings are interesting, and that's what makes life exciting, and that's what gives me stuff to talk about, gives me topics and subjects in which to find wisdom and hopefully share some of that with other people who might be looking for the same thing. Sometimes I marry people without marriage licenses just because they want to make that commitment. And, it's really not a license that makes your marriage. It's, your commitment to each other. It's the vows that you make to each other and the energy that you put into the vows that you make. And, sometimes they just haven't gotten around to it yet, or they need to wait and then they come back and we sign the papers for them later. Or, sometimes we sign the papers and they make their vows later on. That's just the way it is. I let people do that because they can, because we can. And today I had a bride come back with their marriage license, and she said that her husband is in rehab now. I married him about 2.5 months ago, and she said, yeah, I dropped him off in rehab, and I'm picking him up tomorrow, and I want to make sure we get all these papers filed today. And she went on to tell me everything that was going on with her life and, all the things that he had done, all the things that addicts do. And I was like, are you sure you want to do this? I said, you aren't married. I said, even if we sign the papers today, you're not married, unless you file the papers. I said, you don't have to take it back yet. You can wait for him to come home and see what he does, and then decide you can you have 30 days to return the paper. So give it some time. And she says, nope, I'm going to go ahead and take it back right now because I want to make sure that this is done before he comes home. And, what's the first thing that goes through your mind when you listen to somebody talk like that? Most people will say, well, he's really got to get his stuff together before she marries him. She's really walking into a bad thing there. She's really walking into something that she already knows is bad. And so why would an intelligent human being, an intelligent adult, make the decision to say, okay, I'm going to become legally bound to this person for my life, or at least, now. I mean, she can always change her mind. We can always change her mind and undo things that we've done. But, maybe you wonder, like, wow, I am 20 years older than she is, and I'm thinking to myself, should I give her some motherly advice? Because she was talking to me, like the reverend that I am. And made me wonder. So I posted it on Facebook, and right away, the prison bride says, so what do you think about that, Victoria? And I was like, you got a point there, Crystal. I said, I don't know what I think about it. I said, what I really think about it is we need to stand by our friends. We need to stand by people in our life. How can we expect somebody to get all of their stuff together all by themselves? I said, I think we should stand behind her and what she's trying to do and trying to believe in somebody to give them the strength and the courage to believe in themselves. And we all need that. And I think that makes a really good point. I think that people who are addicts get a bad rap. People who have problems get a bad rap. Nobody wants to be around you if you've got problems. Nobody wants to be around you if you're an addict. And, you could look at it a couple of different ways. First of all, a lot of people say that, the government or the powers that be in this world or on this planet have purposefully made people into addicts. We're going to go ahead and we're going to make people addicts, and that's another way of controlling people. If we make people into addicts, if we make them addicted to alcohol, addicted to cigarettes, addicted to drugs, legal or illegal, then we're going to keep them down. We're going to keep them out of their own personal power. We're going to make them dependent on us and our drugs. People say that, even governments are promoting the illegal drug trade. Not going to say that's true or false. I'm just saying that's what I've read and that's what I've heard. But if that's true, then maybe we need to stand up to that. And maybe the best way to stand up to that is not to fight the government, but to help people help themselves. Maybe we need to stand outside of ourselves and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to stand beside you because you need somebody to stand beside you. Because this world can be a very, very lonely place, and I understand how lonely this world can be. Therefore, I am going to choose to not be so lonely, and in that time when I choose not to be so lonely, I'm going to help you not be so lonely either. And if we keep at this, maybe we can find a way to relate to each other, and maybe we can help each other. Maybe we can find a way out of addiction. Maybe we can find a way out of these bad things that are happening to us in our lives. Maybe we can do that. Maybe we're worth it. Maybe it's worth a try. If she was already married to that man and, a year down the road, 2 years down the road, 3 years down the road, he had a problem, it would be expected that she would stick with him because they're married. That's what you expect of marriage, for better, for worse, in sickness and health, till death do us part. And that would be expected of her for a while, Maybe if it was a while after that. I mean, she said if he treated her badly, if he, were to physically harm her, or even if he were to emotionally harm her, she said she would leave. So it wasn't like she was stupid, but she was like, I really love this man. I really want to have little kids with him, and I'm going to stand by him, and we're going to get through this, and I'm going to help him through. And you know what? I really hope that they get through it. I really hope that they find their way. And I hope me supporting her, if only by my thoughts, maybe by these words, and with the energy that I can send in her direction, if that can help her, and if we can all do that, maybe we can change the world.